Hello, everyone, and welcome to Relationship Psychology. Before we begin, I want you to imagine something for a moment. A woman you care about suddenly becomes quiet, not cold, not angry, just silent in a way that knots your stomach. That moment, that silence, is when most men panic. But what if I told you that sometimes a woman pulls back not because she's losing interest, but because she's struggling with feelings she didn't expect to have for you? If you're already feeling that worried curiosity rising inside you, make sure to subscribe and like the video, because what I'm about to reveal will forever change the way you understand women. Here's the truth that few people have explained to you. When a woman starts developing deep feelings, her behavior almost never makes logical sense. It's emotional, instinctive, and often completely contradictory. She might ignore your messages for hours. She might seem distant in public or pretend not to notice you. And yet, behind that silence lies a storm of thoughts centered on you. Women don't fall in love in a straight line. They fall in a spiral, and men misinterpret those spirals all the time. A specific change happens in her when she starts feeling drawn to you. It's not something she controls. It's something she's trying to manage. Women are far more aware of the emotional risks of falling in love than men realize. When she feels her guard dropping, when she catches herself thinking about you during the quiet moments of her day, when she catches herself replaying your voice or remembering the little things you've said, that's when she pulls back. Not because she doesn't want you, but because she wants you too much and doesn't want it to show. When a woman ignores you while simultaneously doing one particular thing, and I'll explain this pattern later, it's almost always a sign that she's falling more deeply in love than she had planned. Her silence isn't rejection, it's emotional self-protection. It's her way of slowing down because deep feelings make her feel exposed. And feeling exposed is the one thing she never wants to be unless she's sure you're a reliable person. That's why so many men miss their chance. They chase her insistently, respond with anger, or withdraw completely. But a woman who ignores you while secretly holding on reveals something profound. She's showing you a doorway into her emotional world if you know how to read it. Now, let's get to the heart of it. What is she actually doing when she seems to be ignoring you? It's subtle, almost invisible if you're not paying attention. But if you know the signs, it's like reading a secret code she's sending you, a code that most men completely miss. Here's the first truth. When a woman starts falling in love with you, her attention doesn't disappear, it hides. She might not reply right away. She might pretend to be busy. She might even tease you in a frustrating way. But beneath that surface, she's watching, listening, noticing every detail, every small gesture you make, every word you say, every smile or laugh you share. She stores it in her mind. The difference between a woman who's truly losing interest and one who's falling in love lies in the small contradictions. She ignores you at times, yes, but then she leaves little clues. Maybe a like on a story she could have ignored. Maybe a sudden comment on a post that seems random but isn't. Or perhaps she remembers something you said weeks ago and brings it up casually. These are her hidden signs, the cracks in her composed exterior, the moments when her guard slips without her realizing it. And that's where most men completely misread the situation. Your instinct might tell you she's rejecting you, that silence equals lack of interest. That's exactly the trap. Her silence isn't rejection. It's a test for both herself and you. She's measuring your patience, your consistency, your ability to stay grounded without overreacting. A woman in this phase is deeply conflicted. Part of her wants to run towards you. Part of her wants to retreat. She's battling vulnerability, desire, and fear all at once. You'll notice a subtle shift in her behavior around you. It's not obvious. It's in the timing of her replies, the tone of her voice, the way she smiles when your eyes meet. She might act distant or distracted, but if she's slipping into your mental and emotional space, she's drawn to you more than she lets on. This is the moment when men can either ruin everything with impatience or read the signals and lean into them with calm, confident understanding. Recognizing this pattern is a game changer. When you see her ignoring you but still leaving those signs, you know she's not walking away. She's falling, and she's falling hard. Most men chase after her. Few understand the power of silent patience. Most men panic. Few notice the hidden attraction. But when you understand her psychology, you stop reacting. You see the invisible thread connecting her heart to yours, and you can move with it instead of against it. Now, let's go even deeper, because this is where most men completely misinterpret what's happening. When a woman ignores you but keeps doing certain things, it's not random. It's her subconscious showing you that she's emotionally invested. She's fighting herself. On the surface, she might seem distant or indifferent, but deep down, she's thinking about you constantly. Her mind replays your conversations, your jokes, your gestures over and over sometimes. And the more she tries to act indifferent, the more those actions reveal the truth. One of the most telling signs is how she mirrors your energy without realizing it, mimicry. Maybe you mentioned trying something new or achieving a goal, and suddenly she talks about similar experiences or shows subtle interest in the same topics. It's her unconscious way of connecting. When a woman starts mimicking you, even in small, seemingly insignificant ways, she's aligning emotionally with you. Men often dismiss this, thinking she's just being friendly, but it's much deeper than that. Her mind is attaching to yours in a way she doesn't fully control. Another signal is what I call emotional leakage. These are the moments when she involuntarily lowers her guard. A laugh that lasts a second too long, a soft smile when she thinks you're not looking, or a question that goes beyond simple curiosity. These aren't accidents. They're small breaches in the wall she's building around herself, a wall she uses to hide her growing feelings. And here's the critical point that most men miss. When she ignores you but keeps those small emotional clues, she's creating tension. She wants to see how you handle it, whether you'll stay calm, confident, and patient, or if you'll overreact. Women test your stability, your ability to match her emotional intensity without losing your own ground. That's why chasing her with anxiety or overdoing it almost always backfires. Understanding this dynamic gives you power. It lets you interpret her actions correctly and respond in a way that deepens her attraction without pushing her away. The fact that she's ignoring you isn't rejection. It's a subconscious signal of desire, a complex mix of fear and fascination. She's caught between wanting to flee and the pull to surrender. Recognizing this duality is what separates men who panic from those who can create real emotional attraction. When you start seeing these patterns clearly, you'll notice a shift. You'll stop questioning her every move, stop overthinking, and start operating from a place of quiet confidence. And in that space, she begins falling in love with you more intensely than words could ever express. Here's where it gets even more intense. A woman falling in love with you while seeming to ignore you will start showing what I call invisible attention. It's almost imperceptible, but if you notice it, it's undeniable. She'll subtly check in on your life without making it obvious. Liking a post, commenting on a small detail, remembering things you thought were forgotten. These actions are silent confessions. She's investing emotionally without saying a word. Most men dismiss them as coincidences, but they're deliberate, even if she doesn't realize it consciously. Then come the physical cues, the ones hardest for men to read because they're so subtle. A fleeting touch on your arm, standing a little closer than necessary, leaning toward you when you speak, or holding eye contact just a bit longer than normal. Women often do these things instinctively when they're attracted to someone. It's not manipulation, it's biology and subconscious attraction. She can't fully control it. Her body betrays her mind, revealing the truth she's trying to hide behind silence. Now let's talk about timing, because it's crucial. A woman truly falling in love with you, while seeming distant, will create patterns. She might disappear for hours or even days, but reappear just at the right moment to draw your attention again. This back and forth isn't cruelty. It's her emotional system trying to calibrate itself. She's testing her own feelings while gauging your reaction. How you respond in those moments determines whether you become someone she clings to or someone she doubts. Patience and controlled responses are essential. Reacting with frustration, desperation, or excess will shatter the delicate attraction she's building. The mental game she's playing is complex. She's torn between wanting closeness and fearing vulnerability. That's why she might tease you, give mixed signals, or act distant after moments of warmth. She's essentially holding back to protect her heart, while simultaneously signaling that it's already invested. Recognizing this duality is your key to understanding her attraction. She's testing, calibrating, and falling in love all at once. When you start interpreting these cues correctly, you stop reacting impulsively. You start responding intentionally. You start creating tension that draws her deeper instead of pushing her away. The beauty of this dynamic is that it amplifies desire. The silence, the subtle tension, the small touches, the timing, it all builds emotional gravity. She's falling in love with you while thinking she's holding back. And the more you understand this, the more you can guide that attraction without breaking it. Now, let's uncover the final layer that most men never see. The psychological reason why a woman ignores you but can't let you go. When a woman starts falling in love, she experiences a conflict between desire and self-preservation. On one side, she's drawn to you, emotionally invested, thinking about you constantly. On the other, she's afraid of exposing herself, losing control, or getting hurt. That's why she creates distance. It's her mind trying to manage emotions that are already running wild. Understanding this internal struggle is critical because it explains behaviors that seem contradictory on the surface. One of the most powerful signs she's falling in love is how she reacts to your emotional state. Even if she's distant, she notices the smallest changes in your mood. She remembers things you say in passing, the way you laugh, the moments when you're most authentic, and when she's silently ignoring you, she's still evaluating your energy, assessing whether you're the kind of man who can handle her depth. Her attraction isn't just physical, it's psychological, emotional, and instinctive. She connects to the real you in a way she can't put into words. Here's the critical point that separates men who fail from those who succeed. You don't need to chase her. You don't need to beg for attention. The moment a man chases a woman who's already emotionally invested is the moment he triggers her fear. Instead, the strategy is subtlety and presence. Be consistent, be confident, and let your actions show that you're stable and reliable. She's drawn to that. It's magnetic because she craves someone who can match her intensity without crumbling under it. Pay attention to the small signals that she's emotionally engaged even when her words and actions suggest otherwise. The extra time she spends thinking about you, the random contacts, the timing of her messages, the questions she asks about your life, it all reveals her internal struggle. She's falling in love but trying to convince herself otherwise. Recognizing this pattern gives you power because you stop guessing. You read the hidden story she's writing with her behavior. It's a delicate balance. Push too hard and she retreats. Pull back completely and she might assume lack of interest. But when you respond with controlled presence, emotional intelligence, and subtle affirmation, she feels both safe and desired. The fact that she ignores you while subtly engaging isn't rejection. It's proof of attraction. She's falling in love, but she's doing it cautiously. And once you understand this, you can navigate her silence with precision, turning it into emotional gravity that pulls her toward you stronger than she ever imagined. Now, here's the truth most men never grasp. When a woman ignores you but keeps doing these subtle things, she's not just interested. She's falling in love and emotionally invested in a way even she might not fully admit. Her actions, her silences, the small signs of attention, all of it points to an undeniable reality. You've captured her mind and her heart. Understanding this is the key to turning what feels like frustration into deep attraction. The final layer of this dynamic is emotional tension. When she ignores you, she's creating space where her feelings grow unchecked. Absence amplifies desire. This tension isn't accidental, it's her subconscious drawing her to you while keeping her pride and emotional safety intact. She wants to see if you're the kind of man who can hold steady, who won't chase her blindly, who can let her reveal herself at her own pace. And men who recognize this, who respond with calm confidence, almost always become the center of her emotional world. Watch for moments when her behavior contradicts her words. Maybe she says she's busy or not interested, yet she finds excuses to be near you, notices things about you no one else would, or subtly seeks validation through your reactions. These aren't coincidences. They're emotional clues, leading straight to her subconscious attraction. Women do this naturally. They're wired to signal desire subtly while maintaining a protective barrier. And if you misread it, you'll never understand the depth of her feelings. Here's the secret. The more you understand her internal conflict, the more you can use it to deepen the connection. Don't overanalyze and don't react with anxiety. Instead, observe, respond with quiet assurance, and mirror emotional intensity without crossing boundaries. Your stability becomes irresistible because it contrasts with her emotional turbulence. She's drawn to security, confidence, and the ability to handle complexity without panic. The moment she starts showing small vulnerabilities, like sharing a fear, admitting she missed you, or laughing at a private joke, you'll know she's fully invested. The fact that she ignores you while doing these subtle things was never rejection. It was attraction disguised as distance, a psychological pull that, read correctly, gives you the advantage most men never have. So, remember this. The silence, the subtle attention, the small emotional clues. These are the signs a woman is falling in love with you. Not all men notice them, not all men understand, but those who do can create a powerful emotional bond that's impossible to break. She's falling in love, and every small action she takes while seeming to ignore you is proof of it. The key is to recognize it, respect it, and respond with the quiet confidence that confirms you're the man she's been drawn to from the start.